I'm live again. Okay. Alright, so I've been guided to come on here, even though I'm a bit frustrated. So where I am, I live in Texas, and yesterday night or evening on Instagram, I was guided to post a message from Spirit that this was the calm before the storm, because I could literally see a storm brewing where I was, and the message was basically to surrender, and that it was about to get kind of crazy, like it was on if you've ever been on the anti-gravity ride at any carnivals or fairs and stuff like that. And the message was just like, it's up to you how this, I don't know, how this feels for you, like how this experience feels for you, because there's a helicopter. How this experience feels for you, because it'll either be one that is like feels extremely painful and uncomfortable. I don't know if like it's either or, but you know what I mean. Or it'll be, you know, fun. Like if you get on a ride and you're like open and you trust the engineers that they've done their job, then it'll be exciting. Or if you get on there and you're like, this is gonna be terrifying, and it's gonna be terrifying for you. I did not expect this to be literal. Basically this huge storm came through, and I would say it lasted about 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops, but it did some damage. In that time, our lights blinked on and off for about 30 minutes or 20 minutes maybe, and then they just went completely off. And I was like, okay, you know, I live in Texas. There's hurricanes and stuff that happen here basically annually, and so it's not too strange for like the power to go out. So I was like, okay. But then it didn't come on when they said it was gonna come back on, which was midnight, and I was up at like 2:30, like, when is it gonna come on? I'm very sensitive. I'm a highly sensitive person, hence the name Queen Sensitivity, which was actually given to me by Spirit. But I'm very sensitive to temperature and sound, and everything has to be just right for me to feel safe enough to go to sleep. And sometimes even that does not help me. So I barely slept at all last night. But when I did sleep, it was like a dead sleep. Anyway, so the power came back on at like 5 a.m. ish, and I was like, oh, okay. And then it immediately went back off to the point where I'm like, did I imagine that coming on? Like, did it even come on at all? And this is all important. I'm telling you this for a reason. And so yeah, I woke up hot house, because again, I'm pretty sure it's been like breaking records in terms of temperature here, but if it hasn't, this summer has been hotter than usual. I'm used to heat. I like heat. I even like humidity, but recently it has been kind of unbearable, and to the point where they put out warnings not to be outside and not to like leave your pets outside because it's very hot. Somebody actually died because of a heat stroke, and that's just the one person that I know about. So that's how it's been. So imagine that heat, and then you don't have any air conditioner. So it's been very stressful. So not only that, I went out into the world today, because on top of the electricity not working, the cell phone towers have been impacted too. So I had no signal the whole night, and I usually fall asleep to watching some sort of show. That was impossible, and no signal. Nothing was downloaded on my phone, and then no signal to like text people, you know, and to communicate. None of that. And then I went out into the world, and I realized it was much bigger than I thought it was. It was so many traffic lights were down. All of them were down at first, all of them. As I drove on and on, some of them were on here and there, but like the whole area was just like blacked out. And there was so much traffic because of the power lines, the traffic lights being down, and there were so many like trees and like leaves and branches and roads. So many people's fences have been blown down. Like, it was a huge storm that happened just like that. And I feel like all this is just to say that things are really amping up in terms of the energies released by the solstice, because yesterday was the solstice. And the message remains the same, is to be open to change and try to surrender as much as possible. And now I'm going to get some quick tarot cards. You can just take whatever you want from what I just said. I think electricity is very important. It's always been a huge thing for me, as I've mentioned before, with the storm dragon. But I'm just gonna get some tarot cards, hopefully fairly quickly. But I was guided to tell you this because I kept getting signs. I was like going into a pizza place and there was a wasp on the door, and then when I asked if I should do this again, like a flock of birds flew overhead, and then when I sat down in my car to put the live on, a dragonfly like was flying around in front of the glass, and then in front of me is like this reddish dragon type of flower, and I think that's a huge white bird that just flew by just now as I'm saying this. So any messages for the collective today? I just saw the Lovers card. Any messages for the collective today? All right, these two popped out. We have the Hanged One. Please stop moving. Then we have the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So I feel like this is saying slow your horses and try to look at things from a different perspective. So whatever is happening in your life, whether it's like something popped up, something extremely inconvenient, or some sort of strife with your relationships or employment or something like that, Spirit is saying to try to view this from a different perspective. And I feel like that perspective is that everything is working out for your highest good. This card just dropped on top of the Wheel of Fortune, which I was gonna get to, but I guess it's very impatient. So have a different perspective that all these changes and all this uncomfortable feeling, all this density come up. Some people might be feeling very good, you know, but either way, the same message applies for everybody. The Wheel of Fortune, everything is working out for your highest good. The whole universe is conspiring for you, and everything is changing for the better of humanity, of everybody. Remember, that is I heard the Angel of Strength is with you. Let's go to the next ones. So the Queen of Wands, lots of fiery passion. You might literally just be hot like me. Like everybody in Texas, you might just be really hot flashes. These are all signs, I feel, of things intensifying and us leveling up. With this black cat, Spirit is very much involved in all of this process. It's been divinely guided, divinely aligned, divinely timed. Everything has nothing, basically, I'll say this rather, nothing has gone untouched by Spirit. You know, when I think of Beyonce and how much she's involved in her performances, like nothing that you see on the stage goes untouched or unscrutinized or unadjusted or unapproved of by her. And it's the same feeling I'm getting here from Spirit, this message for you. Nothing is random, nothing is misplaced, nothing is out of order. Every single thing popping up in your reality right now is being divinely delivered to you by Spirit. Finally, we have the Knight of Wands, which was in reverse. I don't know if I said the Knight of Swords or what, but I feel like the Knight of Wands in reverse is saying to stay put, especially divine feminines. But divine feminine energy is within everybody, but this card is telling me, like, don't try to control things yourself. Don't try to like force anything or push anything away, because every single thing, again, like I said, has been divinely delivered to you. And I'm also hearing to say that even if you do, if you try, even if you get scared and you want to run away or something, it's fine, because no matter what, everything is going to turn out exactly how it's supposed to be, which is amazing and free and sovereign and hallelujah. Okay, so these are the messages that I have for today, and leave a comment if this resonated, and I'll see you later. Bye.